But this allows the little person to say they're involved in something exciting and they're part of a dream. And so, we're really excited to be forming this relationship with Manolis at this point in time, and to document for other people so they can indeed fulfill their own dreams. See how the process is,
and not feel intimidated by, not having the knowledge. That's fantastic.
And just through our interactions, just to tell you, Michelle, like, I feel like your project is part of my project.
Right.
So I am personally invested in your success as well, and I really want to see you and Mark
there's a symbiotic relationship.
There is a
It
symbiotic.
becomes a partnership.
It is a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Synergy.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love it too.
I'm curious, Michelle, how did you hear about crowdfunding?
Just being involved in the movie making business, and it's come up in different articles and whatnot, and kind of a nebulous thing at that. And you tend to fear to tread where you're not really sure what you're doing,
right?
And that's why this partnership just makes sense.
So how did you find Manolis?
Mutual friend.
Okay.
And a person with his own big dreams as well.
Yes.
And as chance would have it, but we've learned in our conversations that coincidences are God's way of staying anonymous. Right down to this film takes place on the University of Connecticut campus. Well, that's my school, and turns out Manolis is as well.
I love that. That's great.
And another interesting coincidence too was when you were telling me about the project, I did not know that it was based in 1976. And for my reality TV show, I wanted the opening theme song to be Dreamweaver by Gary Wright.
1976.
And it turns out that was 1976.
That's really cool.
I mean, it may not mean much, but it means a lot to me.
Oh, goosebumps have been
just,
flying all over the
goosebumps
place.
just,
I love that.
you know you found someone you want to work
like.
with.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so it's similar to you. That's why we came, because
Exactly.
we feel that way about you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, Manolis, can you give us a few more examples of entrepreneurs and dreams that can be realized through partnering up with your show and the crowdfunding movement? I know there's probably people out there that are thinking, I have a dream or I have a product that I would love to do something with. What kind of examples, what can we awaken within people out, in America to say, I want to do this, and I want to partner up with Manolis and RealityCrowdTV? What kind of, give me some other examples that could really, besides a movie, what are other things that people could be raising money for?
Sure, and that's the beauty of this. Whatever your dreams are, within reason, it could be crowdfunded. So if someone wants to expand a restaurant that they have currently, they can put together a plan and go to the crowd and say, I'd like to open up a second restaurant. That is something that could be crowdfunded.
Okay.
There's some interesting rewards that you can offer people to say, founding supporters, offer them discounts. It's a way to market to a whole new group of individuals and make them feel good about doing it as well. Wow. If you're a musician, so that you and Mark are film producers, but if you're a musician, you can fund your CD, the making and the recording, and then offer that finished product as a reward. So if you're a musician and you want to record professionally, you can raise the money through this portal and then offer the finished product as their reward. Right. If you are a technology company, and this is some of the things that's really fascinating, if you're a technology company and you did go to the big time guys to pitch your idea and you didn't get the money for it, this is a way for companies to almost create advanced orders of their product. So not only are they funding their dream, but they are, based on the contribution, they're getting a reward commensurate with that. So one of the biggest success stories is known as the Pebble watch. I believe, and don't quote me 100% on this, but I believe they only asked for a couple $100,000, which is a lot of money, and this was donation-based still. And I believe they raised several million because people saw the demand of their watch product and they said, I want that.
What is the Pebble watch? Remind me of what that is.
It's actually a watch that was created that syncs multiple media together, and it was an innovative idea, but none of the people known as venture capitalists want it, which are a venture capitalist. Have you ever seen Shark Tank? It reminds me of the panel there. They're kind of the venture capitalists who criticize an idea, and then they say, I want to get a stake in your company, but I'm only going to give you very little, and you're going to lose the control of your company.
Right.
So those people came on Kickstarter, and they, without losing any control of their company, they sold their product, and they're living their dream right now in a big way.
That's amazing. So it's like pre-selling your product.
It's similar to pre-selling. It's really connecting the whole product development life cycle. So when people are done raising the money for their product or their dream, they've essentially also obtained customers. Because all of your backers, people who donate are known as a backer of a product or of an idea. All of your backers, you get their information so that you can keep in touch with them and provide them with updates, but they're essentially your customers eventually.
Right.
So you don't want to lose touch with them. You want to keep in touch, make them feel good, market to them and make them part of your team.
Right, exactly.
And all this is only donation based right now. I just want to make that clear.
Right.
Until this October 23rd announcement is done, now you're going to expand a whole new world. And just to give you an indication, this is a silly quote, but I like to say it. There's 7.1 billion people in the world. $1 per person raised, that's $7.1 billion that wasn't available before.
Right, $1.
I mean, a baby is not going to donate $1, but you get the picture.
idea,
Yeah.
sure, exactly.
There's a lot of people this is expanding to now.
So let's use the Pebble Watch as an example. Let's
Yes.
say I thought that was a fantastic idea, and now that this law has been passed, I wanted to donate some money and be a part of that company.
Absolutely.
Could you give me an example of what that would mean for me as a person who is donating, but not just donating, being a part of the company? Would that mean that I would get a slice of the pie?
This is theoretically,
Yes.
because it hasn't been passed, and there's still rules being formulated. But
Okay.
the way I envision it working is you will either be able to loan people money, so you could buy a bond, like a corporate bond of a company trying to raise money for debt, or you can buy a share of their stock. So the only people who can raise money in what the future is going to hold is going to be individuals who create a corporation, because corporation has individual stock that they can raise money with and include equity with. So in that particular example, if they're raising money for stock and they're essentially saying the price per share is $10 per share, if you donate $10, then you technically buy one share of their stock. And the way stock works is, based on the company's earnings, you are able to participate in the future earnings of the company.
Okay.
So instead of just donating and feeling good about it and getting like a music CD,
Right.
you are now contributing, getting ownership, and you might be able to get some income in the future.
Yeah.
And we want to think positive.
Yes.
There's going to be profit, and so you'd be entitled to that profit if you own a share of their stock.
Well, I'm a big fan of residual income, for sure.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So why do you want to do this? What drives you and keeps you so excited and passionate about this project?
Well, because I've been raised with the entrepreneurial spirit, and because I'm part of the millennial generation, and I've experienced the entrepreneurial side, the actual individual side of the corporate America, everything is good. Business is good no matter what you do. I'm not trying to dismiss any profession, but the millennial generation in particular, as well as many individuals who've had a dream but never had an outlet, really brings me to say, what is the bottom line of this law? It's to help people. And why am I going on this crusade, so to speak, this grassroots movement? It's because it inspires me. It gives me a reason to wake up every morning full of energy, because I feel that I'm doing something good for America, good for the globe, and good for small business. And at the same time, by doing things that are good for small business, you're doing things that are good for all Americans, because people need work. When people are not working, they get down on themselves. They don't know what to do with themselves. And it's really important that small businesses are started and they get this chance. And it shouldn't just be the corporate small businesses, the big wigs who could potentially do this without even needing this. It should be the Main Street Americans.
Right.
And I personally am touched by this because no one knows about this, not even the big wigs right now. I was at a seminar where the global economist of a large company that had annual revenues of over $40 billion, the global chief economist, I asked him a question at the end because he said, what do you see as the big global economic trends of the world going on in 2014? And he said, America's looking good, by the way, so that's good for us.
Good.
But I asked him at the end, because he didn't say this, I said, what do you think about Title III crowdfunding? What do you think this law is going to have an impact on in America? And he said, I'm sorry, Manolis, I'm not familiar with crowdfunding.
Wow.
And this is a global chief economist of a massive corporation, making billions of dollars a year, the corporation, and it hasn't even hit them yet.
That's amazing.
And in fact, I'm making it my personal vision and my mission to make sure big companies know about it too, because they need to support this so that it could be changed in the law to make it easier for small businesses to do this.
Right.
Our grassroots movement is going to do a big part of this, but we need some serious financial backing as far as getting the word out, big marketing dollars,
Right.
to ensure that people know about it. We're going to do our part, but you know, from a standpoint of a established business, if they support this, then chances are, you know, they're going to benefit too from the new businesses generated, because they might be selling services to these businesses.
Exactly.
So it helps everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone should be
Exactly.
behind it.
That's excellent. That's very, very exciting. So you kind of shared what you see the future of crowdfunding to be. What are some ways that we can help you spread the word and learn more about the crowdfunding projects and RealityCrowdTV?
Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. And what's interesting about our show is we're a show about crowdfunding, but we're putting our money where our mouth is. Our show is going to be crowdfunded. So on January 14th, 2014, we are going to launch a crowdfunding campaign. We haven't decided yet if we're going to use Kickstarter, the website, or Indiegogo. Both have their advantages. They're both different advantages. But we are going to put our money where our mouth is and put ourselves to the test.
Great.
So to do this, I'm going to need to find a lot more individuals to help in this grassroots movement. Not only to have entrepreneurs on my show, I was lucky to find Michelle Boyko and Mark Allen Kay, but I need more entrepreneurs. So my website is www.realitycrowdtv.com, and in that website, we have a contact us form, and it says, what level of interest do you have? How do you want to get involved?
Great.
So aside from entrepreneurs, we need experts who are in the small business community. We need advertisers who potentially want to be a part of this movement and be showcased within this movement as well. So there's a lot of things that we need in order to make this an astronomical success.
Right.
But behind the scenes, we've been doing a lot of things to get that done. So through realitycrowdtv.com, we have all of our social media outlets: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and Pinterest. And anyone can connect with us through those channels.
Excellent. So we can share that.
And then we're also going to be showcasing Spirit of the Fourth with Michelle and Mark Allen Kay through our media channel. So once they launch, we're backing them with our crowd, because we're building a crowd, they're building a crowd, and you have a crowd.
Very exciting.
And we all
have crowds.
We all help each other out. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for being with us tonight.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Again, I am Susie Duffy, and have a great night. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Awesome.
That
You
was
did great.
awesome.